Let's get to the top story of the day. Another setback for Donald Trump's trade agenda. A U.S. federal trade court has ruled that the Trump administration's new 10% global tariffs were illegal and exceeded presidential authority under Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. In a split 2-1 decision, the Court of International Trade in New York said that the tariffs were invalid and unauthorized by law. The case was brought by small businesses and state of Washington after the Supreme Court earlier struck down Trump's broader tariff regime imposed under emergency powers. The court said Congress, not the president, holds the constitutional authority to impose taxes and tariffs unless clearly delegated by law. The ruling directly applies to a limited group of plaintiffs, but trade experts say it could trigger wider legal challenges and refund claims worth billions of dollars. Now, businesses argue that tariffs raised costs, disrupted supply chains, and weakened competitiveness. The Trump administration had justified the levies by citing America's $1.2 trillion goods trade deficit and broader economic imbalances. But several economists questioned whether the U.S. was facing the kind of balance of payments crisis required under the law. The White House is expected to appeal the decision, potentially setting up another legal showdown at the Supreme Court. This comes as Trump continues his aggressive tariff strategy ahead of key global trade negotiations. The administration is now looking to impose fresh duties using Section 301 of the Trade Act, a tougher trade enforcement tool that has survived multiple legal challenges. Investigations are already underway into the unfair and alleged trade practices by countries including China, Japan, and members of the European Union. Trump has also threatened higher tariffs on European goods if the EU fails to reduce those trade barriers before July 4th. The ruling comes just before Trump is expected to discuss trade tensions with Chinese President Xi Jinping, adding fresh uncertainty to the future of U.S. trade policy and global supply chains. So that's the latest on the tariff front, the U.S. tariffs that have been imposed, the 10% tariff that have been imposed globally.